All right, friends, we are wrapping up our 3-part series, New Year, New You, with an interview I'm having with my friend Elyse. You're going to recognize when you first hear her speak that she is not from here. She is from Australia and she has the most adorable accent. She is the host of the Wholesome Mumma podcast, and she assures me that mama is the correct way to pronounce mom. She is on a journey to live a life of intention and simplicity, and this includes intentionality with relationships, but intentionality with the things that we put in our homes, in our bodies, and on our bodies. And so today we're talking about a low-tox lifestyle. This is something that I have spoken to you about every once in a while here and there when we've talked about cleaning and the cleaning supplies I use in my own home and how simple it is and safe it is for the kids to use. But she dives in much deeper, and you're definitely going to want to listen in, take notes, and learn a thing or two about how you can just be more mindful of the things that we're surrounding ourselves with, the things that we're putting into our homes, the things that we are putting even into our bodies. So sit back, take notes, enjoy today's conversation, and be inspired. All right, friends, enjoy today's show. We grew up with the phrase, home is where the heart is. But our culture has shifted, and now the message is, home should be Pinterest perfect. I'm calling BS on that message. Home, it's not about the stuff, it's about the story. And whether you know it or not, your home is a reflection of you and is already saying something. So what is it that you want it to say? Hey, I'm Danny, a former first grade teacher turned home decorator. Going from a dual income to a single income so I could stay home with my babies meant budget, like ramen eating, Goodwill shopping budget. And I learned a few things along the way, like how to bring big style to your home without breaking the bank. And I'm sharing it all with you. Tips, tricks, decor, and design advice so you can learn to tell your story with your style. Where you can start living free from the Pinterest perfect trap and start living a life of intention. Welcome to Fig and Farm at Home, where we design happy living and where it doesn't have to be perfect to be beautiful. Hi, Elyse. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Danny. I'm so excited to be here.
Oh, I'm thrilled to have you. I introduced you to all of the listeners before we came on, but I want to let have you have a chance to tell us who you are and what you do and why you have that adorable accent. Where do you live?
Yeah, so as you can probably tell by my accent, I am from the east coast of Australia, so just a big ocean away. But I'm a mum. First and foremost, that is my life with 3 little kids at the moment. So my husband and I just celebrated our 7-year anniversary. We've got 3 little kids. So life at the moment is a bit chaotic, but a beautiful chaos.
Yes.
And I have a brand called Wholesome Mumma. And basically I help mums to be intentional with their lives from in motherhood all the way to living a more holistic, natural life.
And one of the reasons I wanted to have you on the show today was to talk a little bit about the low tox lifestyle. And so that's where we're going to camp on mainly today. But give us an idea of what that even means in case I have listeners who don't know.
Yeah, it's funny because now I've been on this journey for nearly 5 years now, and low tox is now just one of those, it's kind of like a buzzword.
Yeah.
But before you start your journey, you have no idea what low tox means. So to break it down, low tox really just means reducing your toxic load. So each of us have a toxic burden, that we call it, where all the chemicals, all the products that we use throughout the day. So you think of most women in the morning, you get up, you might have a shower. So you are using shampoo and conditioner, body wash, face wash, and then you're maybe using moisturizer, then you're putting on makeup. So every one of those products has chemicals in it, and it might just be a little bit, but that's adding to your toxic burden that then your body has to naturally detox. And thank goodness our bodies were created with a liver and a kidney or kidneys that we can detox. But when our toxic load is too much, our body can't keep up.
Yeah.
So that's going low tox is basically a fancy way of saying simply reducing our toxic load.
One thing I was just thinking as you were just talking about having a toxic load, like, are there any signs or symptoms that our bodies might indicate to us that we are kind of at our capacity?
Limit. Yeah. So, and a lot of them are things like skin breakouts. Like if you are having breakouts on your face, that is probably one of the biggest warning signs that your body is screaming and shouting to you, hey, I'm not coping here. I'm not. Things like headaches and migraines are a big one. If you smell someone who's wearing perfume and it's a really strong scent, it's like instantly irritates your eyes. It's almost like you get an allergic reaction.
Yeah.
That is your body reacting to the chemicals in that perfume to say, I don't like this, get this away.
Right.
As you start to feel sick because it's your body reacting, saying, something isn't right. I need to get out of here. I need to be removed from this situation. Right. And so that is the same thing that your body does. But we've just gotten so used to, oh, it's just a headache. I'll just pop a pill over here. It's Panadol, but I don't know what you guys have over there. But
ibuprofen, maybe.
yeah. I'll just pop a pill and I'll be right. But it's actually your body's way of letting you know something's not right. I'm struggling here.
Yeah. Yeah. I mentioned before we hit record that I've started a low tox. I mean, I'm very tiptoeing in, so I'm so excited to hear what you have to say, but I was having that reaction anytime I burned a candle, and I could feel it. Like I could feel almost like my lungs not collapsing. That's really, I know people really do have that problem. So, but kind of shrinking in a little bit. I did not like it at all. And so there are no candles in my home on purpose.
Candles is a really hard one because they are so beautiful and they add such a cozy feeling to your home. Like I loved candles, but the fragrance in them, and we could spend a long time talking about fragrance, but fragrance is basically a sneaky way that companies can get around putting a cocktail of chemicals in. And so candles and perfume are the biggest culprits for this. And so when you are burning a candle, you're literally releasing toxins into your home. And then the studies of fragrance, because it's protected under proprietary information, which it's just a whole nother conversation.
Yeah.
But because it's protected, they don't have to disclose what it is. So it's been, you can see on the EWG, there's lots and lots and lots of research about the chemicals hiding in the word fragrance. So when you turn around and you're looking at a candle or body wash or anything, fragrance is in everything.
Yeah.
But it's linked to things like skin conditions, allergies, respiratory conditions. So when you burn it and you have that respiratory response, that's your body saying something's not right here.
Yeah, too much. So what was it 5 years ago that had you start the low tox journey?
Yeah, so my son was about 4 months old and he had chronic eczema. We could not get it under control. And he, being 4 months old, couldn't communicate what was wrong, couldn't really communicate that he was sore, that he was itchy, other than scream. So I was like in postpartum, screaming child, going to the doctors, to different people to see what is wrong with him. Why is he's got eczema? We cannot get it under control. We tried steroids, creams, all the things. Mm-hmm. And then one day I just found out, I went to a girls' night that was actually like an essential oil workshop thing. And I was just like, I just need a night away from a screaming child for 5 minutes. And in it, I started learning about fragrance and perfumes and stuff. And I didn't do anything about it, went home, and then it stuck with me. And so then I looked at our laundry detergent one day and Googled the ingredients and Googled their risks and looked at research and basically started crying because I realized, hang on, I'm washing my child's clothes in this. that has all these risks, all these side effects, and I have no idea. Like, because we don't. We assume if a supermarket is selling it, it's safe.
Right. Yes.
Which, you know, is a big thing for you to unlearn and go, okay, actually, no, not all companies have my health and wellness as their priority. They have profit as their priority, and they don't care. So I changed to making my own washing powder because all the natural ones were so expensive. So I found a way to make it myself, which is super easy, super cheap. And his eczema cleared up in 2 weeks. So then I kind of went, are you serious? Like, this is okay. And that was the start. Yeah.
And is he your oldest?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. So yeah, you were probably really freaking out because he's brand new. You don't know what's going on. But then as a brand new mom, there's so much like, I want to get this right. And even as a mom of now, you know, big children who are bigger than me, I still want to get this right. So
yeah.
Oh my goodness. So you make your own laundry detergent. That's one thing I haven't switched over to. So I'm very curious to know how you do it. I hope, do you have resources, Elyse, on your website or places that you share recipes?
Yeah, so a lot of it is on my Instagram. So the handle there is at Wholesome Mumma. So I share a lot of recipes, DIYs on my Instagram. I am putting together a big ebook for people with all the DIY recipes. And then, of course, I have the course coming out later this month, which is going to hold people's hand room by room through their home. And not just DIYs though, because I know that even for me, a lot of things I'm like, I'm not making everything. I'm not making body wash and I'm not making shampoo. But the laundry detergent is 1 cup of bicarb soda, so sodium bicarbonate.
Okay.
And then 1 cup of washing soda.
Okay.
And 1/2 cup of fine pink salt.
Oh, okay.
And that comes close.
That is
like
so easy. Do you drop essential oils into it at all?
If I am, if sometimes.
Today, yeah. You have 3 kids under the age of 5, is that right?
Yes, yeah, 5 and under, yeah. So the washing machine is just constantly on.
Yeah.
So that is, and it's like $2.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was going to say, you have no idea yet, because wait until they are all in like year-round sports and then you work out. I don't know if your husband does, but it is ongoing all the time. I'm sorry, I interrupted you. Tell me more.
No. I was just going to say it costs about $2 to make a batch that lasts me 2 months, and I wash at least once a day.
Wow.
Except not on the weekend, because I'm not washing on the weekend.
Yeah. I mean, we have our limits.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Wow. That's remarkable. That's a remarkable savings, honestly.
Yeah. So because there's this big stigma around going natural, and a lot of things you can do it very expensive.
Sure.
If you are not smart about it, you can switch over and it will be expensive.
Right.
But you can be smart about it and you can actually do it cheaper. The same, if not cheaper, especially when you start making your own bits and pieces like an all-purpose spray and washing powder and easy things, simple things like that.
Right. Does your course cover that? We'll talk a little bit more about that in the end, but does it cover that stuff?
Yeah, covers everything.
Awesome. Oh, I'm so excited. So other than little one recovering from eczema, which is in and of itself remarkable, have you seen any personal positive effects for you or the rest of the people?
Yeah, huge. So I don't know that we've spoken about this before, but I have in the past had endometriosis, like chronic. Would be in bed, or so the fact that I have 3 kids is like a miracle, and I'm so thankful to God for that. But chronic, I would have surgery once a year and was on all the birth control, was on like all the pills to try and balance my hormones, all the injections. I at one point had to be medically put into menopause to try and stop yeah, so I've had a taste of it and I don't want it.
Oh no.
Yeah, that wasn't pleasant, but that's okay.
Yeah.
So like really irregular periods and sorry for the guys listening to this, but we're going there.
They and if they don't know, they should know, so it's okay.
So all the things like painful as I had a really hard time holding down a job because I was just so that was my life and that
Because
was really
because your flows were so hard and
painful.
oh
It's
my
just the
yeah.
pain. I couldn't see. I basically had to for the week of my period and then the 3 days around ovulation, I had to be knocked out on pain medicine.
Oh boy.
Like it was bad.
Yeah.
And now I have managed. So we tried for our son. He took months and months to try to successfully fall pregnant, and thankfully carried him almost to term. But he was born healthy and fine. And then so we've seen the biggest difference was in the trying to conceive between the journey with my son, where it was like temperature and tests and all the things to try and get it right and just couldn't. And then the two girls were, oh, well, that happened.
Oh, oh, we thought about that. Wow.
But but apart from that, like now I haven't had a surgery in 3 years. So my last surgery was 3 years ago, and that was after my daughter was born. They just like to do actually I haven't since my third was born, but when my second daughter was born, they just wanted to do another clear out just to make sure that they were because I just had it so bad.
Right.
And so at that point, we'd kind of been on our going low tox journey for just over 12 months. And they were like, there's hardly anything. Like
Oh my
we don't need to keep booking you in for these annual clean outs now.
Oh
So I
my
haven't had surgery since then. And I have regular, normal, pain-free. It'll surprise me, which my period has never surprised me before.
yeah.
So that for me though is the biggest telltale of okay, that has changed my life.
Oh yeah.
And I don't say that lightly, but going from, I could not be a mum of three little kids
Right.
with that
Yeah, with
pain that
being
I'm
laid out for several days a month, you can't do that.
yeah.
Wow. And people, of course, are listening to this. They can't see my jaw drop, but my jaw is dropping. This is remarkable. Wow. Oh my goodness. So, okay, so now I'm intrigued, and I'm sure everyone listening is intrigued. What would you say would be some of the easiest ways you can dip your toe into this
Yeah.
detox journey?
Yeah, that's a great question. And I think fragrance, as we've talked about, fragrance is one of the biggest culprits. And that's because it's full of neurotoxins that basically are destroying your nerve tissue. So that's why you get things like migraines. They can even lead to like irritability and behavior controls. It can elevate feelings of depression. Like it is so toxic to our bodies. And then on top of that, I think it's over 1,000. So fragrance, over 3,000 chemicals have found to be in that label fragrance. So you don't know what you're putting on your body.
Yeah.
And of those, the majority are endocrine disruptors. So they're literally attacking, and you think where we spray perfume,
Yeah.
our thyroid,
Yeah.
our breast tissues, our glands,
Yeah.
the very place that it's attacking. So it's attacking the thyroid and our hormone balance. It's attacking our reproductive system. So for women, as hard as it is, perfume, it's got to go because it's literally we wear it to feel more feminine. We want to smell beautiful and we want to feel beautiful. And you can get natural. You can use essential oils. You can get natural perfume, but getting rid of fragrance And unfortunately, it's just hiding in everything. But that is probably the most crucial and just a really good first step for you to feel physically different as well.
Yeah, interesting. Let's talk about labels for a second because you're saying
Yeah.
that it's appearing on the back of labels. So if I'm picking out a soap and I'm looking and I see fragrance, there are these hidden chemicals. We don't know what it is. It could be, and it likely is really toxic. What other things should we be looking out for on labels or anything specific as fragrances?
Yeah, so there's quite a few, and this is where I really want to keep it simple, especially for people who are tiptoeing and getting started, because it gets really overwhelming, and that's why I just really want to simplify it down and take out the overwhelm. So fragrance is the biggest one. Parabens, which are preservatives, they're made from petroleum, so I don't really want to be washing my body in petroleum. Thanks. PEGs are another big one. So it'll have PEG dash something, something, something. So I stay away from those. And then SLS and SLES as well. So they're kind of the big ones that I would stay away with as a starting point. And you can it's a journey. The
Right.
thing is that to me, the whole idea of going low tox, it's not that you're going to ever get to a destination of, I have nothing toxic in my life, because you're still going to go outside. You're still going to
Right.
it's all about just reducing your toxic load. So those few things, fragrance, parabens, PEGs, and SLS, SLES are a great place to start
Okay.
when it comes to products.
Yeah. The picture that came to my mind when you said we're not going to come to that place, I was literally picturing Heidi. The book Heidi. In the Swiss Alps. That would be lovely, but we are likely not going to do that.
Yeah, we still
Yeah.
live in the world.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we do. We do. And yes. So okay, so if we remove those big labels, fragrance and parabens and all of that, and we just talk in simplistic forms in terms of things that we could, as we start exploring a little bit, start transferring out. So we know candles, we know perfume, we know detergent, we know soap. What are some other things, just simplistically, that we could think, oh, this could be, when we're starting to dip our toe further and further, could be replaced?
Yeah, just simple swap. So things like using a aluminium spray deodorant.
Okay.
So because it's got aluminium in it, it's literally blocking your pores. So you can't, deodorant's a good one to talk about, because when you sweat, that is your body literally detoxing.
Right.
Your toxins are coming out in your sweat. So, but we have been marketed to very cleverly and been told that sweat is bad, that
Yeah.
you shouldn't sweat. And your funny thing is, your sweat shouldn't actually smell bad. The smell in your sweat is the toxins.
Oh, isn't that interesting?
So when you detox from using synthetic deodorants like aluminium sprays, your body has to go through a detox process.
Okay.
So if you want to do that, I suggest doing it in winter,
Okay.
and just rub lemon. Cut a
Oh,
lemon in half, random. Cut a lemon in half, but lemon helps your body detox and helps the smell to move on quicker.
I
Um,
love. Also, I'm going to translate to all of our listeners stateside because the word you were saying was aluminum, right?
Aluminum, yeah.
Oh, you were so adorable, but I really like the way.
Aluminium.
I know you say it much
Mm.
better.
Oh,
Aluminum, yeah. And
yeah.
okay. And that's true. I mean, that's really what we are doing is we are saying, hi, I don't want this on. Keep the toxins in. That's
Yeah. So it's blocking, blocking, blocking.
yeah,
And so your body has to go through a period of unblocking
right.
and but then you get to a point like now, I don't have to wear deodorant every day. When I sweat, it doesn't smell. And my body, I know that my body's sweating. Oh, it's actually doing its job. Thank you.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And if we think about it, if we shift our mindset just a little bit too and think our body is doing its job, this is what it's
Yeah.
meant to do, it's really a powerful reset.
Yeah.
All right. Any other practical tips that you could help these mamas with to just start?
Did you want to quickly talk about food, starting with
Yeah.
food?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a big one, but food I find food easier to swap. It sounds a lot more daunting, but particularly now there's so many more options with food. So food for me is that anything with numbers in the label is a
Okay.
no. Basically, if you look at the ingredient list on a packet of food or whatever, if food isn't in the ingredient list, it
Yeah.
goes back.
Yeah.
And it's learning. And it is, we still eat yummy food, we still eat good food, but we've just changed our mindset around actually, I want to nurture my body, and I want to, especially, I've seen the difference for me personally with my hormones and everything, and then our son. We know what our kids' behavior is like when they're not eating all these processed chemicals and
Right.
and then so numbers, anything I can't pronounce, and not like, oh, I can't pronounce that vegetable,
Right. Yeah.
but like, you
Right.
can tell when it's a chemical
Yes.
word.
Yes.
And then things like additives and flavor, color, color 4B or something. No.
Right.
Because I think in the US there's one, I think it's red
Yeah. It's
3,
red 40 or something.
red 4, something like that.
Yeah.
And it's banned in cosmetics because it is a carcinogen,
Oh, yeah.
but it is allowed in food. So, and particularly, and I know a lot of your listeners are going to be over in the US, that, not all this, especially products, it's not regulated.
Right. Right.
People can put in whatever they want, and as we talked about in the beginning, they're for profit, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. And
that's how it is, and that's why we need to be empowered
yeah.
to take control for ourselves.
Right. And I'm going to go on a teeny tiny little tangent because, even as early as 20 years ago, when I was teaching full time, I didn't see nearly as many food allergies in my kid. In fact, I didn't have one food allergen kiddo. And now you see it is so prevalent. My son is one as well. So he has life-threatening severe allergies, which is terrifying.
Mm.
But it does make me wonder if all the additives that we have in our packaged foods and all of the convenience it is, and is just, I mean, we know that it leads to obesity, we know that it leads to all kinds of yuck. The bottom line just makes me grumpy, doesn't it?
Yeah.
When the bottom line is money is the thing that speaks loudest in so many industries, and it just makes me grumpy.
Yeah. And I love what you say. You said convenience, and that is a huge thing that we have been sold to. We have been sold, I guess it's almost a lie of, we need to be this microwave generation where we just get what we want when we want. And, I don't want to spend an hour cooking dinner for my family, and I want to heat up in the microwave 15-minute. But that's not nourishing your body. And when we realize that actually it's coming at a cost.
Right.
And, with nothing.
Yeah.
Way more than just money, because health problems cost a lot of money.
Right.
And that's where you don't see. And there's a quote that says something about the first 40 years of your life is you giving your body messages with what you're consuming, what you're eating, what you're using. And the next 40 years is your body reading them back to you. And that's where we see a lot of chronic illness. Like, we are literally sicker than we have ever as a global population, especially in, us first world developed countries, we are sicker than we have ever been.
Right.
Yeah, we're the ones with the clean water, with the health systems, but our soil has never been so depleted, and we are spraying it all day, every day with things. And so this is why it's so important that, and I just didn't know this before, but we need to be empowered with our health so that we can make better decisions for our families.
Right.
So our kids can grow up and thrive and live long, healthy lives.
Right. Right. And information is power in any way we think about it, right? And I do think, and this is another little tangent, but I feel like, the more often we see those smartphones, and I'm, quoting quotation marks smartphone, I think this is probably going to get a little shade for this. I think smartphones are making people more dumb, honestly.
Absolutely.
And it is just, we're losing so much of human contact. We're losing so much just power in these simple things, like making decisions that are healthy for us.
Yeah. Yeah. And you saw, like, I don't know what it was like over there, but for us, after lockdowns and lockdowns and lockdowns and lockdowns, it's like people forgot how to be friends. People have forgotten how to have conversation. And I think that, that just sped up the process that smartphones have been on for a while. But it's this idea that it's okay to unlearn things. Like, it's okay to not want to be, on all the time. It's okay to want to spend an hour cooking dinner for your family. It's okay to want to make better health decisions for your family. Actually, I highly recommend it.
Yeah. Me too. Me too. Yeah. Well, because good stuff happens, right? I mean, I talk to my mamas all the time about just, of course, I'm talking about decorating, but creating beautiful spaces. But it's these spaces so that you can be super intentional with the people you share the spaces with.
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean spending all your time doing the thing on your smartphone, or even in my case, all the time doing the pretty painting or the wallpapering or whatever. It is clearing up that time so that you don't want to be burdened by the stuff of life, so that you can really sit in front of the people who are important to you and spend time.
Yeah. It's all about being present. You don't even have to do it perfectly, but it's just about being present. And I love your message about creating a beautiful home, beautiful spaces that are yours and are you in them, for you to bring in people to be present with.
Right. Right.
And enjoy it.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Oh man. Okay. Anything else that, that we can kind of simply transfer out? So we talked about some of the home things, and some of the food things, and gosh, we got on a really deep tangent and rabbit hole, but I love it. Absolutely. But anything else simplified that we could be thinking about?
Yeah, so water is a big one, especially I know in the US you can search what is in your state's water or your town's water or something. We don't have that over here, but I've kind of been able to find a way to. But seeing the chemicals that are in our water, getting a water filter. And it is some of them are very expensive, but some of them do the job. They're not as expensive. But that, because our bodies are mainly water, and we need water. We have to stay hydrated. So that is probably another really good one. But just remembering that it's not about perfection. And I really want everyone listening to really understand that it's not about perfection. As we said, information is information, and it's simply about knowing better and then doing better. We're all doing the best we can. I was doing the best I knew when I was washing my son's clothes, all our clothes, in this detergent, and going on all these pills for my pain and stuff. But going, okay, well, actually, I'm going to learn better.
Yeah.
Now that I know better, I'm going to make better decisions.
Right. I love that. Yeah. Once you know better, you can do better. I love that. All right. Before we go, tell us a little bit about the course that you have.
Yeah, so the course is called the Home Detox Method, and it came about after speaking to mums, and I've pretty much documented my whole going low tox journey over the last 5 years. But to everyone, it's really overwhelming. It's, you know, you look at the end goal and go, wow, I don't know how to get there. So what I've done is I've partnered with one of my friends, Kayla, who has a low tox store. And we have gone through, and it's going to work for people in Australia and the US. So we've made sure we've got products from everywhere.
Yeah.
Because I know that's everyone will be like, where's the US?
Yeah.
So they're in there.
Good.
But and it's a room by room. So it's 8 weeks. We are running it live for this first time, probably this first time only. And it is 8 weeks to remove toxic chemicals from your home. So we're going room by room. We're going to delve into the conversation that we had today. We're going to delve into a lot deeper, really look at what are toxins and how they're really affecting your body. Then we're going to look at reading labels and how you can confidently go to the shop and know if something's good or bad. And then we go room by room. So we're going to do the bathroom, the kitchen, the laundry, all the things. So I'm really excited because I know that it needs to be simplified. And I'm very excited to take women through it.
That's awesome. And it's so good because your experience and all of the research that you've done, I mean, that alone, if someone like me were to say, I want the information in the Cliff Note version. I want it abridged. I want it super simplified. So thank you for doing all that research for us. I appreciate it because I know people like me will appreciate it. So what's it that the link to, is there a wait list now? Since it's not
so I can give you all the links for the wait list, and then when it goes live, can hop in and
okay. Yay. Oh, I'm so excited for that. And I cannot wait. After I stop record, I'm going to go get on the wait list because I am ready to dip more than my big toe in.
my foot. Just my foot.
I'm ready to dip my foot. Actually, I think my foot is in. I think I'm ready to dip my knee. I'm ready. Okay.
But I love it because it's a lifetime access. You can do it. You don't have to do it in 8 weeks. That's just our thing, is that you can do it room by room in 8 weeks. But if you want to go a lot slower and do it over a year, over 2 years, you can do that too. Because as I said, it's a process. It's a journey. Yeah. It's not a one and done. So yeah.
And it sounds like it's more of not a sprint, it's a marathon.
Yeah.
So if I do the bathroom, for example, and 2 years down the road, I want to remember, see maybe what bad habits fell back in or whatever, I'll have access to that. Love it.
Yeah, for sure.
Awesome. Well, Elyse, thank you so much for joining us today. And I am so excited to have all of my mamas connect with you. Tell us again the name of your podcast so they know where to go.
Yeah, so the podcast is the Wholesome Mumma Show, and Mumma is MUMMA, the correct way.
I love it.
And then the Instagram is at Wholesome Mumma, and the website is wholesomemumma.com.
Perfect.
So and you can find me.
All of those links will be in the show notes. All right. Thanks so much, Elyse.
Thank you so much, Danny. I've loved our conversation.
Me too. Wasn't that a great conversation with Elyse? I left feeling so inspired to make a few changes of my own in our own home. And I mentioned before that my toe has been dipped, my foot has been dipped, and I am ready to learn more. I hope you are too. I hope you join me in Elyse's course. It is now open. There is no longer a wait list. It is live and open, and you are just in time for the 8-week live program that she's going to be hosting as she gets this course underway. So join me over there. The link to that course to register is in the show notes. And I loved what Elyse said at one point. once you know better, you do better. And this is something where she takes out a lot of the guesswork for us who are already busy mamas, who are already trying our best to do our best. And when some of that research is done by someone who is as passionate as Elyse is, it makes our jobs a little easier. So I am taking full advantage, and I hope to see you over in the live course. All right, friends, until next time, I will see you soon. Hey, real quick before you go, if you learned something new or found value in today's podcast, would you head over to iTunes to Fig and Farm at Home and leave a review and subscribe to the show? That would be awesome. And if you'd like to connect with my community of mamas who are learning to be intentional storytellers within their own homes, join us at bit.ly/design101 group. There's always more room at the table. See you soon.